The system.
What's good, y'all? This is Icon here, about to go over the Survivor Series coming off of a huge NXT TakeOver War Games. Let's see who will win for brand supremacy. We got Raw, we got SmackDown, we got NXT. Let's talk about it. So the first matchup in this Survivor Series for brand supremacy, it was a tag team battle royal. They got all the leftover teams that didn't make the cut. That don't have gold. They did it old school tag team style where when one person gets tossed, like both participants end up getting tossed. So and both participants have to leave. So and I said those were like old school, like 1980, like tag team rules. So it comes down to Ziggler and Rude because for some reason Ziggler and Rude is still a tag team. It came down to them and the Street Profits, and just to kick it off, because the Street Profits just got there, so you know they're not going to get any real shine. The Street Profits got eliminated, and Ziggler and Rude get the first victory of the night for SmackDown, and SmackDown's already off to a way better start than they were last year. So hopefully they can pick up some more victories as things go along. So the second fight was the Cruiserweight match on one member of each show, Lio Rush versus Akira Tozawa versus Kalisto. And good match. It's basically a Cruiserweight match with everybody from 205 Live. It was pretty much a 205 Live match, but again, like everyone's assigned to a show now. So with that being said, the title was on the line, and because Lio Rush has feuds going in NXT, they weren't gonna have him lose the title. So Lio Rush ends up picking up the victory. He defends the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and he gets on the board first for NXT. So now it's SmackDown NXT 1. The final match of the pre-show was the Championship Champions Tag Team match between the Undisputed Era, the New Day, and the Viking Raiders. This is pretty. I should have saw this coming, how they were going to set it up to have everybody even going into the pay-per-view. Because SmackDown picked up the first victory, NXT picked up the second, and obviously it's no secret the Viking Raiders end up picking up the victory despite the New Day getting this long. They let Big E and Kofi have do some talking in the gorilla position. They got this whole big entrance and everything. Undisputed Era, they competed in War Games, so I didn't expect them to do a lot in this anyway, but in the end, the Viking Raiders remind people they're still a thing, and the Raw Tag Team Champions are apparently the best tag team, on the best brand currently in WWE. So to open the actual show, it was the Women's Survivor Series elimination match, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. The match started, everybody got their shit in, everybody got to do what they do. Bianca Belair shined as always. There was a moment where all the women were brawling, and then Candice LeRae and Io Shirai got hurt, and then they both got carried to the back. Now that obviously makes perfect sense because, they were in the War Games match the night before, so of course they're injured and, and they're beat up. So the two of them got taken to the back. The match continued. There was another moment where Bianca Belair eliminated 2 or 3 people. Kairi Sane ended up getting eliminated. Asuka got mad, basically ran roughshod on everybody, and then Asuka and Charlotte got into it despite being on the same team. And then they were pushing each other, shoving each other, and then Asuka got mad and sprayed the green mist in Charlotte's face, and then Asuka basically eliminated herself. She just walked out, and then Lacey Evans came in, bust Charlotte with the women's right, pinned Charlotte, and then she got eliminated. It came down to the final. It came down to Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, and Natty. So obviously we all know Sasha turns on Natty and got Natty eliminated, and then it was just Sasha versus Rhea Ripley 1-on-1. And then suddenly, Sasha was doing her thing, she was holding down the fort, and then Io Shirai and Candice LeRae came back because the announcer said that the two of them were never officially eliminated. They just got taken to the back. So it was pretty much like a 3-on-1. They jumped Sasha Banks. Rhea Ripley got the pin with the Riptide, and NXT got on the board. The NXT women ruled the weekend. They had the War Games match. Rhea Ripley won the War Games match, and then NXT overall are the best women in the WWE. So good match by all competitors involved. I mean, I wish Sasha would have won, you know, but it is what it is, and we're moving on. So the following match was the middleweight heavyweight championship. AJ Styles, United States champion, Roderick Strong, North American champion, and the Intercontinental champion Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke was out to prove that he was the king of strong styles, the king of strong and styles, and it proved to not be the case. You know, because and it was a good match. Like Sami Zayn was at ringside, so he was out there, doing his tomfoolery, doing his buffoonery, like getting involved, pushing people. Nakamura and Styles at one point, like they did their callback to their WrestleMania match. But I thought Shinsuke was gonna win because he got the brand new belt, and everything. But in the end, Kinshasa to AJ Styles, your boy Strong came in, got the cheap victory, rolled him up, and Roderick Strong is North America is the greatest champion of champions, and in NXT now they're up three victories and one apiece for SmackDown and Raw. Next up we have the NXT Heavyweight Championship match, Adam Cole's baby versus Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight. And this was some bullshit because, I understand, like, Adam Cole almost killed himself last night, but they try to act like Pete Dunne, like, equally went through some vigorous, I'm like, you may have had a bullshit triple threat match. Like he wasn't as hurt as, as they were trying to, like, as they were trying to make him out to be. Like, Adam Cole had his ribs taped up, for Christ's sake. But, but British Strong style in full effect, so, both of them went at it. Adam Cole, has proven that he's, like, the Iron Man of the WWE. And, in the end, it came down to Pete Dunne went for his finisher that I don't even know the name of. He went for his finisher, the bitter end, and Adam Cole countered it into a Panama Sunrise. And then after he hit the Panama Sunrise, he caught him with with the knee to the back of the head. And Adam Cole, I don't know how he did it. But Adam Cole retains the NXT Heavyweight Championship, and the crowd even gave an Adam Cole baby, they're doing it. Roderick got the victory, so actually Fish and O'Reilly were the only ones that kind of ruined things for the camp. But but good matchup, good matchup for these guys, and kudos to Adam Cole because he's been killing it for the last 2-3 weeks or so. So after that, so far it's been a good pay-per-view, a lot of good matches, a lot of great back and forth, and some good old-fashioned wrestling. And then we get the Universal title match with the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. This went exactly how you expected it to go. The lights were red. Bryan tried his best. The Fiend kicked out of everything, and in the end, he put Daniel Bryan down. And the Fiend is still your Universal champion. And then after that was the men's Survivor Series match, the 5-on-5-on-5-on-5. For NXT, they had Walter on the team. They had Walter, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Damian Priest, Tommaso Ciampa, and I was surprised that Walter was there, and he was the first one eliminated. Shorty G lasted longer than Walter. And Shorty G was the next person eliminated, and then Randy Orton, had his beef. He caught someone with the RKO, and then he got eliminated. After Orton got eliminated, he RKO'd the person who eliminated him because he's petty like that. There was a moment where Roman Reigns and Corbin got into it, and they were like, because Corbin was basically letting everybody else do all the dirty work, and then he was sneaking in getting the pins. But then towards the end, like him and Roman Reigns actually like got into it, and then Roman just had enough, and then he super punched Corbin, speared him. Ciampa was just like, oh snap, and then Roman because at that point it was down to Roman and Corbin. But because of how Corbin was acting and because they weren't getting along, I guess Roman figured he'd be better off by himself, and he eliminated Corbin, for him. Rollins was the last person, for Raw. Tommaso Ciampa got eliminated, which left the final three of Rollins, Keith Lee, and Roman Reigns. Keith Lee eliminated Seth Rollins off the jackhammer slam, and then it came down to Roman and Keith Lee, and Roman Reigns, like, he tried to do a Superman punch or a spear to Keith Lee. Keith Lee hit him with that pop-up power bomb, and I thought he was gonna put Roman Reigns through the ring, because that was some wild ass shit. But then, you know, like, because at this point NXT had 3 victories, Raw and SmackDown had 1 apiece, so you knew the tide had to shift in someone's favor. So we knew Keith Lee wasn't winning this one. You know, he took a Superman punch, got speared out of his boots. Roman Reigns got the pin, and SmackDown now has 2 victories, which means I'm going to assume Becky Lynch is going to win the women's one, and NXT is going to win the night 3-2 to 2. At the end, Roman Reigns and Keith Lee showed some respect. The fans were behind Keith Lee, like they were chanting "Bask in his glory" the whole time. And Keith Lee made a name for himself tonight. Like, he proved to everybody that he can hang with the big dogs. And when we go back to NXT, like, they need to do something with Keith Lee. Like, he needs to fight Adam Cole for the NXT Championship, because Keith Lee's ready for the gold. And, you know, kudos to Roman Reigns for getting the victory, and Raw's not looking too good right now, but hey, that's what the man's for. And then to close out the championship matches, we then had Rey Mysterio versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, this again went exactly how you would expect it to go. Rey got his ass beat. Because it was no holds bar, he used the pipe. Dominic even came in the ring. There were times where both Rey and Dominic were double teaming Brock Lesnar, but in the end, Brock Lesnar fucked up Dominic. F5 Rey Mysterio, and he's still walking out as the WWE champion. And all this was for nothing. And finally, the last match was the women's champion versus champion versus champion. Shayna Baszler versus Bayley versus the man Becky Lynch, and nothing really like special happened in this match. I mean, basically Bayley did a lot of talking about how she's tired of being like overlooked and underutilized, and how like she wants to be taken seriously. And Becky did a lot of talking. She was just like, "Oh, I'm the man. Like, nobody can beat the man." And then Shayna Baszler tapped out Bayley, and NXT pretty much won for the entire day. So NXT ended up winning. NXT got 4 wins. SmackDown got 2. Raw got 1. Raw sucks right now. So like Raw is like the worst brand. I don't even remember what match Raw won. Tag team.
It has been an incredible night here tonight.
Oh yeah, the Viking Raiders. So yeah, so Raw sucks. I'm to be honest, I'm surprised, because I would have thought that Becky would have gotten the win, you know, because she's Becky Lynch, but she didn't get pinned, so I guess that protects her. So unless Becky and Shayna are gonna eventually have a one-on-one outside of Bayley somewhere down the line, you know, because right after the match was over, like Shayna was basically like, it was like Shayna Baszler was basically like celebrating, like rubbing it in everybody's face, and then Becky came back and started beating her ass because Becky wasn't trying to hear it. And who knows, maybe the two of them will fight at some point down the line. Maybe we'll get a Shayna Baszler Becky Lynch match, but Bayley's done at this point, because you know she's whacked. You know, but overall, you know, it was a good pay-per-view. You know, like from top to bottom. And again, I mean, I'm surprised that NXT went over. You know, because NXT, you know, they did the War Games last night. So for them to do War Games last night and then to come back and actually like win the Survivor Series, I mean, obviously like they did it because they wanted to give NXT the rub, to get people to tune into the win. It's really about beating AEW. So now that NXT's won the Survivor Series, more people are going to tune in on Wednesdays and see what these NXT kids are all about, which will then give them more ratings over AEW. But the show did end with Becky Lynch standing tall over Shayna as she put her through the table. And although Raw is the worst brand, all is good. All is good in wrestling land. So that was pretty much it. You know, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching Survivor Series along with me. Leave a comment, like, and or subscribe. Check out my other videos that I got posted coming soon. Enjoy your Thanksgiving if I don't hear from everybody. And until next time, as always, I'm out this bitch.